Tick, tick, tick. Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Battle of Wits, a comedy game show unlike any other. I'm your host, Elspeth Wright, joined, as always, by my co-host and friend, Madeline Cottrell. Hello, Madeline.
Hello,
And
Madeline.
she says hello. What a show we have for you today. Joining us from Toronto, we have the hilarious Melanie Dahling. Hello, Melanie.
Hello.
How are you this evening?
I am quite well. I was just out with Luba Magnus, who did the show last week, so I feel like I'm ready.
Excellent. Everyone watching, after the show, go listen to Luba's album. It came out today, and it's fantastic. And in Montreal, we have John St.Goddard. John, how
Hey.
are you today?
I'm great. It's good to be here. This is fun. I
Excellent.
like it.
I'm so happy to have you. And also here in Montreal, we have the wonderful David Pryde. Hello, David.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for this is my first time doing this show while pumped with vaccine.
It does change things. That the
Performance
5G in your brain makes it a little trickier, but a little easier in some ways too. You know.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see how it goes right now as we begin the warm-up round. So in this round, I will ask you all some interesting questions, and you will answer to the best of your ability. Melanie, we will start with you for this first question. It's an easy one.
Allegedly, we'll see.
I feel like everyone knows this. What is the biggest thing a blue whale can swallow?
What? That's one people are just talking about this.
I mean, this comes up at least thrice daily for me.
Well, obviously, as with a blue whale, I will be. Yeah. I don't know. A smaller whale.
A smaller whale. Okay. Yeah, that's true. And why would they be swallowing smaller whales?
Because they feel threatened by them. Their sleek physique. They're like, oh, you think you're better than me? Well, I can eat you, and then they do to prove a point.
Makes sense.
They're very vindictive.
I get that.
Yeah,
they have that energy.
Yeah.
I bet they're all Geminis.
Ugh, disgusting.
That's true. They're all born in May and June. That's
It's a fun fact about whales that nobody knew.
Yeah. See, I did know that. That is something that comes up at my parties, personally.
I had no idea. My God.
John, what is the biggest thing a blue whale can swallow?
Another blue whale.
Oh.
Another big blue
so
whale.
it's not other whales, as Melanie thought. It's just another blue whale.
That's the biggest thing they can swallow because the blue whales are the largest whales.
It's true. And they can fit a whole nother blue whale inside.
Yes. Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen it happen. I was on a boat.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Please tell us about this.
It was very exciting. I was in northern Quebec, and it jumped out of the water. Well, one jumped out of the water, and another jumped after it very, very quickly and just engulfed it. And he was pumped up with not vaccine, but pumped up with another blue whale. And then he came back up twice the size. I have pictures somewhere. Yeah.
That's incredible. Excellent answer, John. And David, what is the biggest thing a blue whale can swallow?
See, I was thinking it's sort of similar to the other answers, but I think I did learn this in school that the blue whale can swallow the indigo whale. I think it goes in the red swallows orange, swallows yellow, green, then you're blue, indigo, and the violet is the lowest on the rainbow whale food
like
chain.
Russian nesting dolls of whales.
That's what I'm pretty sure that makes a sort of sense.
When they swallow them, do they then like swim back out like a nesting doll where you can like see them and then they collapse once again? Or
I think it's more like those like plastic lightsabers that you,
they all
kind of shoot out
Yeah.
without actually leaving. Because
Oh, they stay attached.
the tail fins hook onto the jaw, so they can't actually expel
Oh
from the mouth.
no. Mm.
Wow.
Nice. What a beautiful
Stunning.
image.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stunning.
It is. Happy Pride Month.
From the whales. Yeah.
Which is when whales are born, apparently.
Yeah, it's true. Wow, nature is truly beautiful. I really liked all of those answers. So, in an unprecedented move, I'm going to give you all a point because I can't decide. They're similar answers, but you all held your own with them, and you were all incredibly wrong. Blue whales actually have very small throats for their size, so the biggest thing they can swallow would be something about the size of a grapefruit.
Whoa.
Wow.
Because their throats don't stretch and are quite small. Their tongues, though, as you probably know, because you all have great knowledge of whales, their tongues tend to weigh about the same as a standard elephant. So they have very heavy tongues and tight throats.
I can relate. I can relate to that.
So I was lying.
But the blowhole, but isn't their blowhole like the size of a grapefruit? Is it all connected? The blowhole.
That's not on my card, so I don't know.
In Seinfeld, it was the size of a golf ball, actually.
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
way off, maybe.
The blowhole was the size of a golf ball?
Kramer
Because the
lodges a
golf
golf
ball's
ball
stuck.
inside a whale
Ah,
while driving balls off the beach.
of course.
And then good old George got in there, got it out.
You got it saved.
Yeah.
Oh, no Seinfeld trivia here.
All right, yeah, no, strictly.
I'm gonna pretend I know that.
Okay. Oh, our next question. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Aloe. Thank you for joining us. Our next question has a visual element. John, we'll start with you. What is this, and what is its purpose? What is it called, and what is its purpose?
Oh, that's the Munchkin ominous.
Oh, yes. Of
It's
course.
a Munchkin ominous, and the ominous is the little tank that is attached to the Munchkin, which helps him with his ominousness. So what are
those?
He's Munchkin ominousing.
Can you tell me what that means?
Oh, to Munchkin ominous is to read and drink water at the same time.
That's difficult.
Yeah, it's carbonated water.
Oh, wow. That's some Olympic level stuff.
Yes, yeah. Most of us would drown if we tried to Munchkin ominous.
That's why you got to have the helmet. All right. Very good answer, John. David, on to you. What is this called, and what is its purpose?
It's it looks to me like a roughly a 1940s template of Angry Birds. That's the original animation. The animation technology was less so it was sort of more photorealistic photographs of the Angry Birds, and it wasn't called it was back then they went because they didn't want to be too aggressive, so they were called studious birds. And that's why that person looks, or that bird looks intense and determined.
Birds.
Making some intense fashion choices, that bird. Excellent answer, David. Melanie, what is your answer?
Okay, I know exactly what this is, because if you don't know, I've been to Las Vegas a number of times.
Wow.
And yes, love it there. It's a fun time, but just, I digress. They have these oxygen bars in Vegas where when you want to you're tired, but you want to keep going. It's a city that never sleeps, as we know. You go and you get a little kiss of oxygen at these bars. You sit and they hook up these things and they put massagey things on you, and then you're good to go. You're back at it. So this is an early prototype for that. And they're actually testing the effects by having this person do complex math problems while they do it. So they're kind of figuring out how much oxygen does it take for someone to continue gambling for a prolonged period.
Wow, very interesting.
Makes more and more sense.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. Melanie, I'm going to give you the point. All good answers. So this does have to do with airflow a little bit. It's called the isolator, and it was invented by Hugo Gernsback.
Of course.
Of course, Hugo. Old friends, we go way back. It's a hood with an oxygen tank attached, and it claims that outside noises will be eliminated so the worker can concentrate on the subject at hand.
Oh.
So it just basically just blows, like it's a white noise machine that you put your head in.
I would really like that because I have a small Toronto apartment and my boyfriend's a big fan of the PlayStation. So
Mm.
I feel like that would bring a lot of peace to our
This looks
home.
like a character from Pan's Labyrinth, actually.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely also want one of these machines because my upstairs neighbors are very stompy at all hours. And also I just feel like as a woman who takes public transit, it would be very helpful.
Oh.
You know? 'Cause sometimes people will see headphones and ignore them. But this they couldn't ignore. It'd be like very like, do not
You
talk
wouldn't
to
attract
me.
any attention.
Yeah,
And no one will
Anonymous
dare
is-
smoke that close to an oxygen tank.
true. There will be repercussions for all of us.
Yeah.
All right, we have one more question in this round. David, we'll start with you for this one. Why did the House of Lords used to smell like urine?
Ooh, this do you mean the British?
Yes, the
House of
British House
Lords?
of Lords, sorry.
Because if it was the Urine Land House of Lords,
I mean, yeah, that'd be self-explanatory.
the House of Lords, because the earliest iterations of the House of Lords weren't it wasn't in an actual house. It was in a yurt, and they needed quite frankly to mark their territory versus the other yurts. The yurt of lords was very snobby and would keep away from the yurt of dukes and the yurt of jacks. So yeah, it was so it's a territorial thing.
Yeah,
It's sophisticated.
yeah, it very much is. That makes sense. I have no further questions. I think my answer is incorrect because that sounds real. Melanie, what is your answer? Why did the British House of Lords used to smell like urine?
On that same, it is kind of a status thing, but it's actually because they had people to come empty the chamber pots, like people that they would hire for such things. But it was a competition where they'd be like, oh, well, my employee takes out this much of my pee. And the more that you would see the person dumping out, the more it was like, wow, that you really have a lot of authority over that person that they're dumped. So they would really let it accumulate, and they'd be like, oh, yours only took out a tiny teaspoon's amount, while mine took out this entire bucket. And it was just literally a pissing contest. That's where that feeling comes from. Yeah.
That also makes sense. These are excellent answers. John, we'll move on to you. Why did the British House of Lords used to smell like urine?
Oh, well, you've heard of the Stadium Pal?
Mm-hmm.
It was an early version of the Stadium Pal. The Stadium Pal, as you know, is attached to, at that time, the Lord's penis, and they could have long sessions of Parliament while using the Stadium Pal. And what had happened, I believe it was 1917, during a session of the House of Lords, there was a massive Stadium Pal explosion.
Oh no!
Where over 131 Stadium Pals simultaneously exploded in the House of Lords, and they are to this day cleaning it up.
Oh wow!
Still a bit of an aroma.
Wow!
Excellent answer.
That's actually what the movie 1917 was about.
Wow, yeah. The more you know. So interesting.
Based on the trailer, I'm guessing.
David, I'm going to give you the point for that one. They were all excellent and shockingly all incorrect.
Bravo, David.
It was because of the tweed jackets that were popular among the wealthy men who were in the House of Lords at the time. The yellow hues of the tweed were achieved by using a stale urine dye, which is a set of words that I really didn't enjoy saying. just
you really
now.
have to like that hue, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd really, and so like they wouldn't smell normally, but then when it would rain, they'd get off a bit of an
Ooh.
odor, and it's in Britain, so it was often.
Well, next time I'm on a Toronto subway, I'll just close my eyes and pretend I'm in the House of Lords, surrounded by tweed.
You can see why Conrad Black wanted so bad to hang out with those guys. Like it's a very upscale.
Yeah, it's very, very fancy to smell like urine. Okay, we will move on now to our second round, the What Does It Mean round. In this round, I'll show you some interesting words, and you will tell me what does it mean. Melanie, we'll start with you for this first word. And also, if I mispronounce the words, please correct me. We want, accuracy for our audience members. So this first word is melangerie. Jareen. Melanie?
Yes, Melia green is actually the proper term for a grass stain. So when you when you skid over the grass and it gets on your jeans, usually as a young child, or I don't know what your life looks like these days, but but yeah, that's we call it a grass stain, like commonly.
Wow.
But this is the actual term for that.
I was not aware that there was a word for that. Thank you for imparting that wisdom. John, what does it mean?
Yes. Well, it's actually pronounced meleagrin. It's an adjective to describe falcon, much like the peregrine falcon. This is a meleagrin falcon, which does not fly with its eyes covered like the peregrine falcon often does. The meleagrin falcon is all wide open and has there's little flaps on the eyes that are open when it flies.
Wow, very interesting. Excellent answer. David, what is your answer? What does it mean?
I'm pretty sure because the Melia. Okay, so it's first of all it's meleagrin, and it's and if you know the sort of the term melee for battle or fisticuffs, and this is sort of a fighting technique that involves fighting and grinding. Really, it's sort of a Greco-Roman type of dance, but it's a little erotic, and many a village merged due to the fallout and the festivities of a meleagrin festival.
Yeah, it sounds highly erotic. Wow, thank you so much for that answer. The definition is actually of, like, or pertaining to turkeys. So, John, you were kind of on the right track with falcons. So I'm going to give you the point, but those were all just beautiful.
Relating to birds.
Yes. Well done. Our next word, cicerary. Cicerary. John, what does it mean?
The cicerary is similar to the rosary, the Catholic rosary. The cicerary was what the sisters wore as rosaries, and they wore it beneath their cloaks. It was sort of hidden, and they would show it at appropriate times at very significant masses that were held only for women of the cicerary.
Excellent. David, what does cicerary mean?
So I believe, I'm not saying it's true, but just for this minute, I'm going to believe that it's sort of a amalgamation of, like, the cicerary is when several cutting enthusiasts come together to show off their paper dolls or festive homemade party hats.
Oh, wow!
And they hold a cicerary, and then the best items get put up in the cicerarium.
Oh,
I want to go there.
Yeah. generations to come will delight.
Was very, very good. I heard that actually the band Scissor Sisters met at a scissorarium. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Melanie, what does it mean?
So this is a space that is specifically dedicated to making opulent gowns, organzas, chiffons, etc. And this is where people would go to be fitted for their most fabulous outfits, for balls, etc. And the people who worked there, they would call them the sissies, like as a cute term. But then over time it became derogatory because people are just so terrible. But that's where it came from. Was, oh, you're surrounded by elegance and opulence and you're a sissy, and now become what it is today.
Wow, you are all very, very good at making up fake definitions. Put that on your resumes should you need it. The actual term is a scolding or a blow.
Oh,
So it's like, I guess, like a cicerary comment maybe would be how you'd use it.
Mm.
I'm gonna give the point to David. I really liked the whole, I was on that journey. I was in the cicerarium. Excellent job. We have one final word in this round, and it is paroemia. David, what does it mean?
Paroemia is it's sort of when you're up for parole in prison, but the council, the judiciary, the administrators that judge these things deny your parole because there's something missing and they can't quite put their finger on it. And that's it. So they really want to believe the person, but it's just they're not quite there.
Yeah, I hear that. That's why Charles Manson actually didn't get parole, because it was like, oh, we want to. You see, you're such a charming man. But okay, John, what is your answer?
Paroemia. It is a fear of the paranormal. It is what happens when you're confronted by something that is allegedly paranormal. You have an unrealistic fear and you hide from it. You hide from the idea of it, any conversation about the paranormal. Usually you hide behind objects. It's so bad that you actually feel like you have to protect yourself. So you will hide behind, it could be household furniture, or if you're outside behind vehicles or something, you get frightened and you have to cover yourself with an object for the fear of the paranormal.
Wow, that's very good. Melanie, what does it mean?
Well, it is in fact a fear, but it is actually the fear of red meat. Can't be around it, can't smell it, can't see someone eating it. Barbecue season, very difficult for these people. Yeah.
Wow, those are all very good answers. I have to show Aloe's answer here. Paranoia that causes low iron.
Oh,
Because anemia.
It's similar to yours, Melanie. Very good. So the actual correct answer is a proverb or adage used in argumentation. So I looked up an example of this, and the first example to pop up was returning like a dog to his vomit, which is gross, and I feel like has given me more questions than answers. So thanks for that one, Google. John, I'm going to give you the point for that one.
Oh, yay!
Yay.
Excellent work all
I'm
around.
stuck with a dog returning to its vomit. That will never.
It's, that common phrase that we all use in arguments. How I defended my thesis. All right. At the end of that round, Melanie, you have 2 points. John and David, you are tied with 3 points.
Ooh.
But it is still anyone's game as we go into the most contentious round. 2 truths and 1 lie.
Yeesh.
All right. In this round, each of our contestants will tell us 3 stories. two are true, one is a lie, and we will grill them to find out which story is the lie. Melanie, because you're next to me, you will be going first. Can you please
Alrighty.
tell us your two truths and one lie?
Alrighty. Okay, so this is funny because last week when Luba was on the show, she was at my friend's place upstairs. We were having a drinks night and we played downstairs while she was up there. And when she said she made her own prom dress, I was excited to share that story with her because I tried to make my own prom dress and failed miserably. So it's funny because that ended up being her lie. So I was like, I'll share that little story. Terrible experience. I ended up buying something off the rack at the last minute, but hey, I tried. And then my other one is I used to work for a spell as a lingerie model. I did some lingerie shows. I walked the catwalk. I don't know if that's a story so much as something I'm just very proud of about myself.
Like a little humble brag.
Just a little like
two truths and one brag.
Back in my day. And yeah, the other one, I didn't realize for the longest time that like black licorice was something that everyone hated because I grew up, my mom loved it. It was just around the house, like licorice, all sorts. And I grew up on a steady diet of black licorice and I like it. I like it a lot, but I think because I was like trained to like it. And now it's this thing where everyone's like, we can all agree this is terrible. And I'm like the one person that likes it. So that's just, a burden I carry in my life. So that's maybe more. I just wanted to air that out tonight. So those are my three. I tried to make my own prom dress. I used to work as a lingerie model for a time, and I like black licorice.
What is your favorite licorice all sort?
Yes, good question. Okay. Aesthetically, I actually quite like the one that's like a little sandwich that's got like the tan, white, and black because that's a color palette I'm currently trying to make my own wardrobe out of. So I'm inspired by that one. But you gotta love the little pink and blue ones with little dots all over them because it's fun to bite into. So many competing textures. Yeah, that's my favorite one all over.
Yeah, those ones are. That is the correct answer.
Yeah, but I'm inspired. Okay. I had to shout out the other one because it's an inspiration to me.
What's the why were you it seems like you were well, I'm thinking of black licorice. It seems like you were, I don't know, influenced to liking black licorice or only exposed to black licorice or something, like you didn't have any choices. Did you ever try red nibs or anything? I mean, why black licorice? Why were you
did. I tried it all. It was funny because like I just thought black licorice was another candy one could have and enjoy. Like it was never like, and here's a weird one. It was like, we had our nibs, we had our like pep, the one with the like it's chocolate with the mint in the middle. I had all manner of things, but black licorice was just in the mix and my mom loved it. And she was just, I don't remember her ever not having the licorice all sorts. They were just around.
I feel like black licorice was a big thing in my family as well. Do you remember those little like black licorice cigars? Did they have those?
Yes, with the red little.
Those are I want one so bad right now, but they definitely don't sell them anymore because
they were great.
It influences children to embrace bad habits. But I loved anything as a kid where I could pretend to be an adult, like, I'm smoking. Yeah. Fun.
Yeah, I used to love just pretending to pay taxes as a child. Just
like, I'm so busy.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
So I have a question about the prom dress. What specifically? How did you fail on the prom dress that convinced you to stop?
In so many ways, I feel. So I had my mom, again, and with my mom, she was a very good seamstress, so I assumed that I would be too. And I had this friend, Kathleen, who was really crafty, and we were like, we'll have a night, we'll get together, we'll make our things. And I wanted to make, this is so ambitious, and this is so like me. I'm always like very all or nothing. I was like, I'm gonna make the red dress from Moulin Rouge.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
it's like the bodice is very like corsety, and like because I was obsessed with that movie,
Yeah,
and
it's
so it was like
gorgeous.
fresh out the gate, first project, gonna make very ambitious. And my friend, made something simpler, and then she was helping me with mine, but I kept like pushing too hard on the little pedal, and then like snapping the big needle. You can tell I haven't sewn since then, but there's a big needle, and I snapped like a couple of those, and then I just felt so bad because they were like, it was all her stuff, and she was being really nice and patient, but I was like, I think I'm gonna go to a shop and do this. But yeah, would have been nice if it worked out.
What was the prom dress you ended up with? What was it like?
The prom dress I ended up with was black, sleeveless. It was like a heavy kind of silk material, and then on the bottom, it's split open at the skirt with like white peeking out. I love black and white, and I still do. And there were little rhinestones all around the opening where the white stuck out. So I ended up with something very cute, but it was not, it was not the dress from Moulin Rouge.
You looked like a bedazzled licorice all sort, though.
I
love
did.
that for you.
What about the lingerie modeling?
Yes,
What was let's say the most uncomfortable or odd experience you had modeling lingerie? Or
Uncomfortable. Oh yes. Okay. I was gonna be like, it was lovely because it was like I worked at this shop that sold both lingerie and sex toys, and we used to have we would go to these expos, and we were like, well, instead of hiring models, let's just do it ourselves and show all different kinds of bodies. And it was really cool, and it was mostly just really positive, and like it was all women being like, you look so great, you look so great. So it was mostly good. But there was one time when I was modeling, and there was a woman in the audience who I knew was very good friends with a man who I was interested in. And I was wearing something very revealing, and it was like fluorescent lighting. And I was just like, I was very young, and I was like, she's going to tell him all kinds of things about my body. And so it was like,
she wouldn't have had to.
That's the thing. She could have just like covertly snapped. Like he wasn't there, but I was just worried that like she would be catty and tell him about this stuff. So that was the most self-conscious I felt.
Fluorescent lighting should be made illegal.
Oh my God.
It's a very pressing matter, honestly, with everything going on in the world. That's my number one wish.
We can address that, and then we'll figure the rest out.
Yeah, we'll get to the rest of the stuff. What was the name of the store?
The store was called Lady Godiva. But many of our customers didn't know who Lady Godiva was, so they called it Lady Go Diva.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further questions, David or John? Do you have any more questions?
No,
I don't think so.
I've made up my mind.
All right. Audience, feel free to put in your guesses. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to play along, switch over to YouTube so we can see your comments.
Yeah.
John, what do you think is the lie?
I think the licorice is the lie.
Okay. Why? You seem very sort of like you have a reason.
I don't know. It just seems so random to talk like my students talk, and I hate when they say that. But it does seems
random.
Seems so random.
It's
This
so
random
random.
guy came up to me on the metro. So random.
He started talking to me about black licorice.
I had to put my isolator on. Okay, yeah, I kind of think it's that one as well. David, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the prom dress.
Okay.
I just think it's just too plausible.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Figure it.
Yeah, I think it was. You did a really good job because all of those are very possible. Like it was.
Yeah, no, I mean they're all plausible, but that one there was two. I don't know. It seemed like something you just sort of reached for because it was right there.
Oh, we've got a couple votes for prom dress. Melanie, what is the lie?
It was the prom dress.
Oh,
I did have a disastrous sewing night with a friend,
did.
but that was after high school, so I just kind of transposed that memory. But the prom dress I described is the dress I wore at my prom. I just didn't attempt to make my own first.
Yeah, no Moulin Rouge attempts.
No.
All right. Excellent job, Melanie. You get 1 point, and David, you get 1 point as well.
Good job.
Great work, everyone. John, it is now your turn. Could you please tell us your 2 truths and 1 lie?
Sure. I'm gonna. There are just 3 declarative sentences. I lived in San Francisco. I lived in Nantucket, and I lived in Regina.
Okay. Are you the man that was once the man from Nantucket? Or
One of them.
okay.
Yeah, I was one of the men from Nantucket.
Nantucket and Regina could be both used in naughty limericks.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's why San Francisco's a lie. John's actually a limerickist.
2 limericks.
all the
I'm a limericist.
Okay, tell us what took you to San Francisco?
My friend's father lived there, and so he moved there, and his father rented us out a place. So Lyle and Jim and I lived in San Francisco in what we called the Mac-Tac Shack because of the decorations. It was all Mac-Tac. And so they were high school friends of mine, and we went and lived there in our early 20s when Jim's dad invited Jim to go there, and Lyle and I tagged along.
Were you able to work there? Did you get a work visa or?
No, we made money illegally.
And you're admitting to it in front of 5 people on the internet.
Yes, I'm not going into details.
Okay. How long did you live there?
About 6 months. Yeah, better part. Got there in the spring, left late fall.
My question is quick. What state is Nantucket in?
Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Very good, very good. I liked the sneak attack energy.
Yeah. I totally thought that was how you were going to get busted.
And I didn't actually know where it was, so that's educational for me.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It's like, oh, he could say anything. I forgot it was a real place.
My question: describe to me your neighborhood in Regina, where you live.
Oh, it was flat. We in the back of us was the RCMP training. Like there was a field and a river, and then the RCMP, I think the barracks or something. It was where young RCMP officers trained. It was on Royal Street, and it was I lived there. I went to boarding school there. So the dormitory was on Royal Street, and it was facing a church and a long flat street. And in the back was the RCMP training academy, a little river. Very, very blah, very normal, very.
How long did you live there for?
For a year,
Okay.
for 1 year and a bit, just over a year.
Okay. What grade were you in? You said you went to the boarding school there?
Yeah, grade 10. Yeah, grade 10.
What did you do in Nantucket?
I actually cleaned houses. I that was also illegal. Because I worked in Nantucket. I went to Nantucket. I bought a vacuum cleaner and a car, and I went down there, and I had friends down there, and I cleaned people's houses. That was my summer job. I cleaned rich people's houses.
That's all a young person needs is a vacuum cleaner, a car, and just a pocket full of dreams.
Yes. Yes.
What was your mailing address in San Francisco?
Something Polk Street. I can't remember, but it was Polk. It was like, I think it was 1224 Polk Street. Yeah. 1224
Wow.
Polk Street.
And you lived there with Kyle and Matthew, you said?
With Lyle and Jim. And
Oh, I see what she did.
Kyle and Matthew spent some time there, though.
Were you alone in Nantucket?
Was I alone in Nantucket? No. No. I spent. I lived with people first when I got there. Like I rented a room in a house, and then I eventually got my own cottage. I rented a little cottage, but I wasn't alone. Actually lived. I rented a room in a house, and then I lived alone. But no, I wasn't alone.
Which
And I
one
wasn't
was your? Where
Hmm?
was your favorite place to live out of those?
I don't remember much of San Francisco. I think I have the best memories of Nantucket. The beach. I bought a little moped and I rode my moped around. And there's a feeling of freedom and openness. And I was on the ocean and could be on the ocean within minutes.
What was the name of the beach?
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't remember the name of the beach, but it was a nude beach.
Mm.
It was a nude beach. I don't remember the name of the beach, honestly.
Okay.
Were there designated areas of the nude beach for mopeds?
Naked moped races on the beach.
This goofy red bubble helmet, sparkly red, and then go forward on my head.
That's so Nantucket.
Oh, I was
Very
a member.
Nantucket.
Yes. No, there were no moped sections.
So you were an outlaw.
Yeah, I was an outlaw Canadian biker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any final questions for John? No? All right. David, what do you think is the lie?
I think I want to say Nantucket is the lie.
Okay.
Yes.
Melanie, what do you think is the lie?
This is hard because I was looking for like body language indicators that you were lying, but you kind of did them for all of them, which is very clever.
Yeah. None of these are true.
It was very like
John's not even
deceptive.
real.
Yeah, like I tried to seem overly confident with everyone, but I felt like you could have been lying about any of them. I'll say Regina because you went into the most detail about that, and the other ones you were like, oh, I don't know, which felt maybe a little more realistic.
I'm gonna go with San Francisco. My vote doesn't count, but I like it when I'm right and I guess correctly. John, what is the lie?
Well, you're going to like this because you're right. San Francisco. I never lived in San Francisco.
Excellent. All right, John, you get 2 points.
Is Polk Street a famous street?
It is, yes.
Ah.
Polk Street. Yes.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a famous gay street. Like you need to say that in San Francisco. All the streets are gay.
Well, Castro is the really famous one.
And I couldn't think of Castro Street. I could not. And as I was sort of going through the story in my head, I was going to bring up Harvey Milk, and I thought, no, I can't. I was going to wax poetic about the gay history, and I forgot Castro Street. So
I feel like Castro would have been way too obvious, though.
Yeah,
you know, like
Yeah.
If you had
that would've
answered
been like-
Castro Street, then I would have called it a lie. But
yeah.
Polk, I never heard of Polk.
Name. That's like, yeah, I lived in New York. I lived in Times Square.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just like, no.
I lived right next to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. I lived in the head of the Statue of Liberty with Oprah.
Statue of Liberty Way.
All right, David, it is now your turn for your 2 truths and 1 lie.
Okay, so the first story, the first one, my family got swept up in a soap bubble photo shoot. We were in Concordia University, walking through it, and my son was 1 at the time, and went running off, and some photography students saw him run past the corridor and yelled at him, not yelled at him, but called him to come in because they were cramming for a photography project and they had no ideas except soap bubbles. So they asked him to pose for soap bubbles. And then my wife and I were watching this, and then they got all of us in, and it became a really cheesy, like Sears catalog, like just black backdrop with us all reveling in the wonder of soap bubbles.
Okay.
Yeah. The second one, I had to sit in a flight attendant's chair on Air Canada because they were all yelling at me because I was running. In the airport, I ate a Burger King fish sandwich, which I'd never had before. And as the plane took off, I had to use the bathroom horrifically badly, but the seatbelt sign was on, and I was trying to wait, but I couldn't wait, and I just unbuckled and ran, and they all yelled at me that I had to sit down, and I sat in the flight attendant section until which was right next to the.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. And the third one is the late Bob Saget called me numbnuts. And that was at I was backstage at a gala, and he was hosting the gala, and he was asking like what the worst like Canadian celebrity reference he could make was, and I said Ben Mulrooney, and he said, numbnuts, tell me someone I've actually heard of. And then I don't know what he ended up answering, but because my feelings were hurt, so I.
Well, you had the last laugh.
Wow.
Sorry. Where were you flying to?
It was a family trip to Australia. So this was the first leg just to the West Coast, but I really, really wanted to get to the bathroom because I didn't want that complication in the first leg of like a 24-hour journey to happen. So that's why I remember it was like in the first 10 minutes of a huge long.
I don't know, man, because I'm having a problem with you not wanting that to happen in the first leg. I mean, you don't want that to happen any leg, no pun intended.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen.
Well,
You want that. I can't see how that would be like the issues. Like, oh no, not the first leg. I don't mind pooping over the ocean, but we're still over that.
Oh no! I wanted the immediate. Like I wanted to avoid it full stop, but especially because it was a. No, I would have been just as alarmed on the last leg, but
yeah.
If
but
you
then I
were,
would have the excuse that I was tired.
so you were embarking on this long journey, and you decided to try a food you'd never tried before, which is something that I wouldn't do. I have a very sensitive tummy. So what inspired the I'm going to get a fish sandwich from Burger King and then hop on a long flight?
Yeah, well, yeah, we all ate at the airport Burger King. I think we were just early for the flight, so we all ate there. And actually, I wasn't the one who ordered the fish. My wife ordered the little fish sandwich, but then maybe she had a premonition because then she didn't want to finish it, and I was in dad mode, just finishing everybody's meal before we left.
Like, that's funny. I'm thinking of the sandwich. I can see a little fishtail hanging out.
It's like a cartoon fish skeleton. There's like a cat walking around.
Yeah.
You want the rest of this? The soap bubble commercial.
Good. Yeah.
These students it sounded like they were harassing, calling over a 1-year-old boy. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a commercial. It was just a project. So they weren't professionals. So that might explain the lack of ethics.
And how many were you going through there? How you and your wife and your 1-year-old?
Yeah, so there was 3 of us, and my wife worked. This was at Concordia, so my son and I were actually meeting. It was like she was teaching a night class, so we were meeting her there. And then as we were leaving this photography, these people were doing photography
And they
Okay.
decided that your son would be perfect for the photo shoot.
Yeah,
Well,
I think they were desperate for a subject because all they had apparently was bubbles.
Sounds like Michael Jackson, the monkey.
When did the Bob Saget thing happen? What year was it approximately?
It was exactly 2012 because it was a 30th anniversary show.
Okay. Do you remember who else was on the show?
Yeah. So it was the nasty. It was a nasty show, a televised nasty show. So there was Jimmy Carr, Amy Schumer, Jim Thornton, or Norton rather. Yeah, and Bob Saget was hosting the thing, and
Wow.
Mike Ward was on there as the CanCon.
Wow.
Okay.
So were you?
And I wasn't on it. I was actually writing. Oh, and Triumph the Insult Comic Dog was there, and
I see.
that's why I was there because they asked me to write because he had to write some Canada bashing jokes for Triumph, and so I was actually there in that capacity to write jokes for Triumph.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds legit. It sounds.
Yeah, that one sounds.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that one.
Do you have any final questions for David at all?
What did you have? What's the process? Because these people took photos of you and your children and your child for them to be able to use those photos. Like, is there paperwork or like what was involved after the fact?
No, but they did send me. They didn't send any photos of the three of us because I guess we weren't all photogenic, but they sent me a bunch of pictures of my kid. But there was no because it wasn't for public, it was just for their own project. And I don't know, and I never heard from after they sent the pictures. We never heard from them again. So
no checks worth.
I don't even know what their grade was.
Darn.
All right. John, what do you think is the lie?
I think the soap bubble story is the lie.
Okay.
But there's something about the Bob Saget one that's too perfect. But it is memorable. I can understand why you would remember exactly what he said. And yeah, but I'm going to go with, I think that the soap bubble one is the fabricated story.
Okay. Melanie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm also feeling soap bubble. And it's funny because like a lot of details, you told the story very well, but there's just something about that story compared to the others and it's funny because I was most suspicious of like, why are you eating a fish sandwich? But you had a really good explanation for that. So yeah, let's do soap bubbles.
I thought there's something fishy about the airplane story for me. That's my guess. Aloe agrees with me.
Oh.
Yeah, he's right. It's the plane.
It's just how abrupt and direct his sentence is.
Yeah.
Plane is a lie.
That's caveman.
She watches the show quite regularly, so I feel like Aloe knows what's up.
Yeah.
David, what is the lie?
Actually, the Bob Saget thing is the lie.
You had us all fooled.
Well, no, all the details were true except for that inciting incident of him calling me numbnuts. He was very nice.
I was gonna say the way when you said the phrase, like how he called you numbnuts, it didn't seem like the way somebody would say that, and I was like, that
then, like,
I could hear him saying it.
I was so great because yeah, he's often like when I've seen footage like kind of dirty for its own sake.
Yeah,
So I could see him just kind of saying that even if it doesn't line up.
Yeah,
he wasn't dirty backstage. He's just super nice and I did suggest Ben Mulrooney and he used it and it worked. So that was
cool.
Wow.
Excellent. You got 2 points for that round, David.
Nice
Excellent job, everyone, on 2 truths, 1 lie. Melanie, you have 3 points. John, you have 5 points. And David, you are in the lead with 6 points.
Wow.
You fooled us all.
crazy.
You doubled up
great.
on me.
Yeah, no clue. Well, a little bit.
All right, now it is time for our penultimate round.
Hmm.
How much in this round? I will show you some things that I found for sale on the internet, and you will tell me how much you think they cost. We do not use Price is Right rules, so it's just who's ever closest, even if you are over. And I gotta apologize. I have a real interesting lineup of stuff this week.
Love it.
So, we'll see. Our first thing is from Amateur Schlaumer. It's called the Amphibious Subsurface Watercraft.
Wow.
Ooh. This is a partially submersible watercraft that provides above and underwater viewing options. Drive it
Yeah.
right off a trailer into the water. It has 110 hours of battery power in the water and 8 hours on land. It is 12 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 8 feet high, and it weighs 3,400 pounds. 3,400 pounds. And I love this picture because if you look really closely, you can see they very poorly photoshopped two little faces in there.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
didn't notice.
I had a big laugh when I found that earlier.
It looks like Pac-Man versus Jaws.
Yes. That's like the next Sharknado is just Pac-Man versus Jaws. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So where do
Whoa.
you so you go do you go in the cockpit looking part or do you go in the little bubble part underneath it?
I think you can go in either. I think you can go in like that top part. I think, the main viewing part is the little bubble.
Battery powered.
It's
Oh.
battery powered.
I don't know.
Well,
Huh.
then that shark would die of shock then. Okay. Let's say I would say that is $30,000.
$30,000. Okay. David, how much do you think it is?
I would like to say $18,000.
$18,000. Okay. And Melanie, how much do you think it is?
Oh gosh, it's hard. I never bought any sort of vehicle, let alone land, like sea craft. In my
I mean, are
life.
you
I
living
don't
your
know.
life if you haven't bought a sea craft, Melanie?
Yeah, I love it. I would like one. I'm gonna undersell since everyone went. I'll say 10,000. Just because the shot in the dark, no idea, but I very much want one.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to save up some pennies because this thing costs $300,000.
Wow.
Fair. Okay.
So you all really underbid. John, you get the point.
I was only
You just needed to add another zero.
$70,000 off.
Did you say it weighed 300 pounds though?
No, I misspoke and corrected. It's 3,400 pounds.
Okay.
It's hefty.
The battery power threw me off. I thought that would make it less expensive for some reason, even though that kind of makes it more sophisticated. I don't know.
It's a shark
But
powered battery.
It's 12 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's way smaller than a car. But
Yeah, it's not that large.
Yeah,
But you can sit in either part. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard to tell because those faces, I think, are not where faces would actually be.
$300,000.
So $300,000. Put your money together. You can get one. Drive it around the Lachine Canal.
So ugly.
Yeah. I'll have
Okay,
to be buried in it.
Our next item is from Dolky Dolls, and it is a porcelain ball-jointed doll. I apologize in advance for the nightmares.
Okay.
She is about 24 centimeters tall, painting with overglazed paints, mohair wig, Purchase, and you can purchase her by installments.
Look at her. She's sitting in the
2
emergency
months.
seat of a plane right now.
Yeah, she is. She just ate a fish sandwich.
Look at
How big is it? How big is
24 centimeters tall.
Okay.
And you can pay in installments as well, just to give you, a bit of a hint.
And
boy.
installments. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna say $3,000.
$3,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Melanie, what do you think?
Oof. Yeah, I know these are expensive because I went through a brief phase where I was really into these like anime dolls, very detailed like anime dolls people like. So I know they're expensive, but how expensive? I'll say 1,500. Yeah, let's stick to that.
That makes sense.
1,500. Okay, David, how much for this?
I don't want it to be expensive. But I don't know. I'm gonna go. This is probably the wrong strategy, but I'm gonna undercut again. I think this is a perfect tailor made for a clearance sale, $999.
Perfectly made for a clearance sale.
All right. Excellent guesses. John, you get the point again.
Ooh.
And you are all once more very under. This doll is $13,241.95.
Is there a brand or something, or do you know why?
I think it's a collector's porcelain doll. I think it is like there's a lot of it's creepy,
Porcelain.
but I think the detail, the ball joints, I don't know.
What was your guess, John?
3,000.
3,000. Wow.
Yeah.
I think this is something for lonely people, for lack of a nicer way of phrasing it.
Behind this curtain, I have 17 of those dolls.
Because you can pose it. You're probably like taking photos, setting it up in
Exactly.
such a way. Yeah, it's probably treating it like perhaps a small child.
Exactly. That's what I do with mine. Okay, our next item is from eBay. And it is, the title on eBay is Vintage Chia Pet Haunted. So this is our vintage Chia Pet. It is from a family-run floral business that is now closing. They found it in the basement of the building. It is believed to be from the 1940s or early 50s. Very, very unusual. They did not say in their description, even though in the title they said haunted, they didn't say anything to do with why they think it's haunted. So I would like you to tell me, when you guess the price, what sort of haunting things do you think it does? Melanie, what kind of hauntings does this guy get up to?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the eyes, first of all. Yikes. I feel haunted just looking at them. But I think it was probably the type of thing where they said they found it in the basement. So it's probably like when they found it, they were like, I always felt like someone was watching me when I was down there. And then one day I saw this little guy, and that's what was giving it. So I don't think it was like causing a lot of trouble. Is probably just a feeling in the room, and then they've attached it to this thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Cost what that photo. The moment I saw this, for some reason in my head, I just said $700. I don't know why, but
it was
I'll call
his
it
spirit talking to you.
That's what I think. If it's haunted, hey, we'll call it a psychic impulse, and if I'm right, I'm right.
All right. David, how much do you think this guy costs? And what do you think he's doing when he's haunting?
See, I am the word, or the price of 800 pops in my head, but because of the way these have been going, I'm going to add 1,000 to that. And so $1,800. And its significance is that every year on the anniversary of his wife's death, his lips glow blood red.
Oh
Whoa.
no.
Shit.
and,
I can
and
see
maybe and the cheeks a little too, looks like.
it. Okay, very good. And John, what do you think he haunts, or how do you think he haunts, and what do you think he's priced at?
This is the creepiest one for sure. It looks like
Mhm.
he's got a cigarette burn or something on his cheek.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
It looks like he's been abused. I think that he haunts people by when when he watches you when you're making love, and when you're about to reach that magic moment, he winks at you and you lose it.
Ew.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's his specialty.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can see it.
The
But
worst.
how, but how do you catch the wink? Like,
Well, you can't take your eyes off him when he's around you, even if you're in the midst of
Yeah.
ecstasy.
Yeah, even in the
You're
throes of
drawn to him.
passion.
And then that one wink, you're
does it
gone.
make a ding? It should make a ding when he winks.
Yes, that's good. I can hear it.
I like how none of us have brought up the chia aspect of this at all. Like,
Yeah,
he also
Yeah.
grows hair. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. They look like
Yeah.
rice terraces from a certain angle.
I wonder if this is a celebrity of the day. Like, is it?
I don't. He looks like he would be an old timey celebrity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that W.C. Fields-ish type.
Yeah, because I've
It's
never
insane.
seen a chia pet that was just anonymous man. Like
Yeah.
it's usually like either an animal or a character that
Yeah.
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 It's like
Somebody-
Uncle Bourbon or something. I don't know.
oh, an old Uncle Bourbon gives you that wink.
Ding.
Uncle Bourbon.
All
I think
right. How much did you think he was worth, John?
I've been going with threes. I think of 30,000,
Yeah.
2,000. I'm going to stay with a 3. I think that he's broken. Well, he is broken. So I'm going to go with $300.
$300. All right. I personally think that he is stealing eyeliner. That's how I think he won. On this one, you were all over. I threw a bit of a curveball.
Oh,
He is very reasonably priced at $152.09. But John, you're sweeping this round. You still get the
Wow.
point. You were still closest.
mm.
And we have one final item up for bid. It is a cockatiel bird taxidermy, the best Christmas gift. This is from Etsy.
Oh,
A very handsome boy comes with top hat and
Oh,
red
shit.
bow tie.
Oh, that's the worst.
I kind of love it.
He's jaunty. You know, he's got style.
I used to live, I had an apartment for a while where my whole thing was like granny chic, like very like weird little thingies, and this would have fit in. This would have been right at
Oh,
home.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, I really feel like
I don't like
this would make
birds.
sense in my apartment, and I'm judging myself a little bit for that.
Yeah. I like his little top hat. You know,
I
he's
know.
jaunty.
Is it
He's a
taxidermy?
gentleman.
Is this like-
Yes,
is
it's
it
a
actual?
taxidermy.
Really?
Yeah.
Etsy is such a wild card price, right?
Yeah,
Price
Etsy is
wise.
really all over the place. He got a little casual, took his hat off, end of the long day. Just wants to hang out with Uncle Bourbon.
Woo.
And his feet
Yeah, he
up.
stole Uncle Bourbon's tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melanie, how much do you think he costs?
Oh gosh. I don't think it's worth much, but I think to the person who made it, there's a sentimental value to it.
Mhm. That
I'm-
cockatiel was his grandpa.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah, for Grandpa Cockatiel here, 300. I bet 300, but I bet the shipping is outrageous.
Mm,
Yeah, because it is Etsy after all.
yeah. Okay, 300. John, how much do you think?
$59.
$59? Wow,
Wow.
no respect.
Mhm.
And And David, how much do you think?
Yeah, I want to go with my instinct from the last time, and I'm going to stick with the $800 number because he doesn't. It doesn't wink, but it squawks while you're making love.
All right, excellent guesses across the board. John, your winning streak has come to an end.
Ooh.
Melanie, you get the point.
Woo!
This fancy cockatiel, the best Christmas gift ever, is $247.
Ooh.
All right. Well, send me the link. I want to check out how much shipping.
All right. At the end of that round, the scores have changed, but it's still anyone's game. Melanie, you have 4 points. David, you have 6 points. And John, you have 8 points.
Wow.
But now it is time for the lightning round. So things could change. In this round, I gotta stretch. I gotta get ready. I will ask you some rapid fire questions, and I will give the point to whomever I hear say the correct answer first.
Oh, so we all try to
So
get
just
it? Not for any
shout out
person?
your answers. Don't wait. It's
Wonderful.
bare knuckle, knockdown, drag out, madness. Are you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah.
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. What is the second largest French-speaking city in the world?
Paris.
Montreal.
Montreal. What is H2O?
Water.
Okay.
Who plays Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
What is the biggest ocean?
Pacific.
Pacific.
Who is credited with creating Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg.
On the internet, what does www stand for?
World Wide Web.
Touch your chin. That was, you all did it at the same time. What boy band was Lance Bass in?
NSYNC.
Boys Can't Dance. Back X. Boys on the Block.
NSYNC.
He said sync.
Wow, you just got 8
New
points.
Kids on the Block.
10 divided by 2.
5.
Who directed all of the Indiana Jones movies?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg. Black, green, and oolong are types of what?
T.
Who painted the Mona Lisa?
Leonardo da Vinci.
What
Ninja
month
Turtles.
is it? What month is it?
February.
All right. Excellent job. Whew, always an intense round. As I tally up your scores, can you please tell people where they can find you, what you have going on, anything you want
I
to
have
promote?
nothing going on, but you can find me on Facebook, John St.Goddard on Facebook, and on Instagram. I never go there, but I will. I don't like Instagram. But Twitter at the John St.Goddard, Facebook John St.Goddard, and Instagram. And I don't have any shows coming up yet.
Soon. Okay, very good. Melanie, where can people find you? What you have going on?
I am constantly on Instagram to my own detriment. So you can find me on there at Melanie Dahling. And then on Twitter, I'm at Sugar Darling. And I think I'm Melanie Dahling on TikTok as well. I don't remember right now, but I'm on the talk with the kids. I don't have much going on right now, but I promise I will soon.
Excellent. And David.
I guess I'm technically on Twitter, but I'm never on Twitter. But I'm on at David Pryde Jokes. I'm coming to Toronto February 22nd for the week that from Tuesday to Sunday at Absolute Comedy in Toronto. And
Nice.
March, I'm doing some stuff in Ottawa. And that's
Awesome.
all. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
That it
Yeah.
all happens.
Excellent. And as always, follow me on Instagram, Elspeth_Wright. Follow Battle of Wits on Instagram. And if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and like and share so that people will watch this show because it's really fun, if I do say so myself.
Yes, that was a great time.
Oh, that's
Wow,
fun.
that was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being on. We still have some business to attend to. It is time to announce the winner of the show, taking a surprise lead in the lightning round. John, you have 9 points. Melanie, you also have 9 points. David, that lightning round was all yours. You have 13 points.
Whoa!
You are the winner. Well done.
I touched my chin. That's the key.
Comedy legend
Nice.
David Pryde can touch his chin.
Lightning.
I loved that I was so confident about T and Sarah Jessica Parker, but basic math, I was like, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I guessed how Alfred Hitchcock painted the Mona Lisa. So.
Okay, that would have been
You
interesting.
really had a lot of fun just trying to name a boy band as well, John. It was like
What was the
3
boy band
questions
in the
away,
end?
and you're like, New Kids on the Block.
It was NSYNC.
In sync.
It was
Okay.
insane. Yeah, that was hilarious, though. All right, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you so much to Melanie Dahling, David Pryde, and John St.Goddard for being on the show. We'll be back again next week because I don't think things will be open here by then. So see you next week, and have a good night.
Great.